Busy working realtor. Oh, me too.
All
Getting
right.
on the Facebook. We should be
Yeah,
live.
I'm gonna start a watch party.
You start that partay. Speaking of partay, oh, we're on. We're
Are we
so
party?
on.
Are we gonna party? Let's
We're
go to Put in
so
Bay. I want
partaying.
to go to Put in Bay.
Sarah said the same thing. She wants to go to Put in Bay. And I was like, Amanda's been saying she wants to go to Put in Bay. We need to go to
Well,
Put
then
in
we should
Bay.
probably just go.
Well, we need to, yeah, we should
We should
just
have gone this
go.
week because we haven't been busy. All right. Tips, pointers.
Tips and pointers and tips.
That's what we're talking about today. Tips and pointers for buyers.
Home buying essential. The
What?
6 most essential. Brought to you by, I'm not sure. Us. Brought to you by us.
Brought to you by us. Yeah.
Amanda and I have had many discussions about what the most important thing is about buying a house, and we're presenting it to you. So, all right. Number 1 on the list. Let's see your opinion on this. Get a home inspection to evaluate the safety, overall condition of your new home.
Well, absolutely. Yeah. And some people, I actually have a client who I'm meeting today that is in construction, and he opted not to do a home inspection. So we got some money off of the purchase price.
Oh, nice.
But I would not recommend it for somebody that is not well-versed in the area, that can do their own repairs. And, you know, if you're just like a first-time home buyer or somebody that's not handy, or even just, you know, like,
yeah,
you're right. Like, I would definitely do a home inspection.
I mean, but for what they're inspecting, and in some homes, you know, it's not like they're going behind walls. They're not going underneath floors. You know, it's like, I think some might be okay to give up if, you know, just with the climate of the market, the way it's been, you know, that's sometimes what's getting the house.
I don't know that I would never recommend somebody not doing a home inspection ever.
Yeah, no, but if they opt not to.
Yeah, a handful of times my clients have.
Yeah.
But it wasn't my recommendation to do so.
Right.
But with the way of our market, you know, if you opt not to do a home inspection, then it does help win an offer.
Right. Okay, number 2 on the list, which answers my question that I posted on Instagram the other day, although there's a caveat to that. But number 2, before you start house hunting, get pre-approved for a mortgage loan.
Yes.
Yes.
You should get pre-approved before even getting on the internet and looking at houses, I think.
Well, I just don't understand what people are, because how do you know what you can afford? How do you know what you want to afford? Because sometimes what you get pre-approved for is very different than what you actually want to spend.
Yes.
And what do you know the payment looks like if you don't?
If you don't know the taxes of the house. So that's something that a lot of people don't know, is sometimes your taxes and insurance aren't included in that.
Right.
No,
that's always eye-opening to people.
Yeah.
PD. Payment,
because depending on where you live,
interest, taxes, and insurance.
Yeah, if you're living in, you know, Dublin or Gahanna or some, you know, like your taxes are gonna, New Albany.
Yeah.
You have to think about your taxes.
They're gonna be huge. And 2, okay, so I got a call from the other day from someone who wants to see a house. Let's say, you know, it was a Zillow lead, so it wasn't, but they have 5 people they want on the loan. 5 people.
Can you do that?
Okay, so as I'm talking to him, I'm in my head going, I don't even know that you can do that. So I called our mortgage wizard and said, and he's like, well, it's not easy, it's not difficult, but you know, technically as many people as they want can.
Really?
Yeah. So, but you know, this guy has no idea. And well, we just really want to see the house to make a decision on if that's the way we want to go. Okay. Don't you think you should talk to a lender first to make sure you can go that route?
Right.
Before you see a house.
Yeah, I don't get it at all, because it's like you're wasting time. You're wasting the seller's time. You're wasting the realtor's time. You're wasting your own time.
Yes.
So pre-approval, like, I don't think that we can like hit that one enough. Like, you need to get pre-approved.
And
before seeing a house, before
yeah,
looking at a house.
I mean, it just only makes sense. However, with that being said, as we're having conversations with people, I mean, we're vetting things out, you know, and we know for the most part what people need to get approved and not approved.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they sometimes have the answers and sometimes they don't. And if they don't, then absolutely get pre-approved first. But, you know, in talking to people, sometimes it makes sense to start seeing houses.
Yeah.
And then, you know, get the pre-approval done after a bit. Sometimes it's just a matter of, you know, learning what an area looks like. And I don't know, you know.
But there's so many like hiccups, like just for you and I, like we are 1099. So there's just different things that go into that. And, every single person is different. Like, what if you paid a credit card late and it hit your credit and you don't know about it?
Right.
There's so many factors. And then it also just, it depends on, how much, I had somebody reach out to me and they're like, we want to be in the 350 price point. And I'm like, okay, great. And then finally I was like, what do you want your monthly payment to be? They're like, no more than $1,200.
Okay. That's not 350.
That's not what 350 looks like. So it's not that they just don't know. They're just not educated in that field. And that's fine. Like they don't have to be. But then I was like, you need to talk to a lender first before, anything, because if you want to be in the 350 price point and you're going to be in the 150 price point, there's going to be, you're not going to get the house that you want.
No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So, and then you have to also think about the location and your taxes. So
huge. All right. Number 3, direct. So important.
Is this 4 or 3?
This is number 3. We'll go fast because I know you got to go. Number 3, because you're busy working Realtor.
I'm so busy.
Number 3, direct all communication with the seller through your real estate agent. Please.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. You don't want to get an emotional connection to the buyers and you don't want to give up information that you shouldn't be giving up.
It happens. Those conversations start and it's like, but really there's no reason for you to get in touch with anybody other than who your agent is. Why? You're not going to help anything. You're not gathering any information. I think because of the internet, people think that everything's so accessible. It's not a smart idea, I don't think.
No, my clients sometimes ask me and I'm like, no. If you have something you want to say, just let me know.
Let me know. I'll pass the information on.
Yeah. So buyers, neither one, like nobody should.
No, just don't until
and then
after.
It can get personal too, so we're in negotiations or something like that. You just don't want that.
Sometimes people get mad at each other. Oh, Herbert Meyer says, hello to my favorite ladies. Hi. Hey. All right. Number 4, get the seller to put every component of the deal and verbal agreement into writing.
Yep.
I think that goes for the buyer as well. I mean,
everything needs to be in writing.
Everything needs to be in writing.
Yep. Even if, something is.
Even if it's silly. Like,
even if it's like, oh, we're extending, the purchase contract by an hour.
Yes.
Or we are, extending the inspection period by a day.
Yeah.
Everything has to be in writing. Yep.
Just put it in writing. Number 5 is include important contingencies such as financing and property inspections with your offer. Just had this happen. Wrote the offer, got in contract, all done. And then the question was, hey, is it too late to negotiate closing costs?
Yep.
Yeah. Right now it is. So if you need something or want something, make sure you discuss that with your real estate agent. And then also you have to have it in the contract or in the offer so that when it becomes a contract,
everything has to be in there before, acceptance. And if it's not, then kind of you snooze, you lose. You can always ask them during later negotiations. If you're negotiating, like repair request, you could maybe ask for some closing costs.
Well, that's what I said.
Yeah. Possibly. Closing costs are pretty much null and void in this market.
Yeah, they really are. Well, here's the thing. what so many people don't understand, they hear the word closing costs. And how many times have you talked about this? Closing costs for you to, for the buyer to ask the seller to pay that, that's coming out of the seller's pocket. That's money the seller is giving to you.
Right.
So think about it from the seller perspective. Someone's asking you to pay a few $1,000s. I mean, no.
Yeah, no thanks. Especially when somebody else can come and not ask for that. So
right. So all right, number 6, final.
And also, sorry, one little thing. Sellers also have to pay closing costs as well. So it's not like just the buyers are paying closing. So buyers have closing costs, sellers have closing costs.
Yes. Yeah. Now, I think what most people think of closing costs is, this huge amount of money that the lender charges. That's not necessarily the case. Some lenders do, and some lenders will say, ask for a percentage so that you bring less to closing, but it's a fee that the lender charges, but then also you have title and attorney. There's fees broken into that. We don't
typically do attorney, but yeah, that's probably
no, because the title company would have, unless you had an attorney separate, but whole nother 611 in Realty 614. All right, the last on the list is come up with a realistic wish list, what you can afford in terms of house size, neighborhood, and amenities.
I think that's hard for people as well, and it's really hard having the conversation with buyers right now that how tough this market is and to really get a grasp on it. And I think that buyers are having a really hard time and they're kind of getting to the point like, well, I'm just going to wait till next year. And at that point, you're going to be getting even less of a house.
Well,
because prices are raising.
How many times have we talked about this? Well, I don't know, the last time I looked at actives, it's hovering at 2,500, 2,600 houses in the MLS, in our MLS. And for a balanced market, so one that is not seller favorite or buyer favorite, we need 10 to 12,000 houses. This seller's market is not changing anytime soon. I mean, we're not going to get 10,000 houses on the market overnight. That's just...
And people, interest rates are so great right now.
Yes.
And everybody needs a place to live, right?
Yeah.
And so gain equity right now, it's a great time. It's just, it's like hard to get into people's heads. Prices are going to keep going up and up and up. Like, that's just the way that, I was talking to my brother about it, and he was like, Columbus is going to get to the point that we're starting to spread out and it's going to take an hour for you to get to work.
Yeah.
So it was kind of interesting. He was like, look at Chicago. He's like, I don't think that we're going to be like Chicago, but like, big, like large populated cities, they spread out and it takes you an hour to get into work. And with COVID, people working from home.
Well, that's how it's been. I mean, how I show houses all on the outskirts. I mean, I'm never in the city, but I've been selling West Jeff, London, Obetz, all kind of the perimeter. Now, those are still a half hour into downtown Columbus, but people, it's what you can afford and what is available. And sometimes it is
like Delaware. Out. Delaware is like booming. And
Marysville. Yeah.
Plain it's City. Crazy. Plain City. Yeah. I was out in Plain City and I was like, where's this?
My side of town. What are you doing in Plain City?
I think that's more north than the west side.
It's west.
Okay.
I listen, I get west of 71. You get east of 71.
Well, but I hear that you're like in Tesla and things like that. So that's my side.
Stay there.
I'm the east side girl. She's west side.
But I'm usually on the east side and she's usually on the west side. Let's start a team.
I know, we're just going to switch. I know.
We're going to team BFF is back in play this year. Can we do it like this week? Get that set up?
Yeah, we should.
Yes, I think so too.
Let's do it.
All right. Anyway, well, we're done.
Video showing. So
how nice for you.
Well, actually, a measuring.
It's all right. It's all right. I don't have a showing today, but I do tomorrow. So
I don't.
Oh,
have anything tomorrow or Sunday.
I'm actually going to the east side tomorrow too. Huh? How nice for me.
All right.
All right. Well, everyone have a
Bye.
good weekend. Cheers
Have a good weekend.
to, our favorite videos and podcasts and
Clink.
all the stuff. Have a good rest of your day. I'm sure I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.